This week has been one strange week. I get contacted by this guy on Instagram, and he says, I think we might have been separated at birth. And I said, why do you say that? And then he sends me this picture. You know how sometimes people will say you look like someone, or they say they look like you, and you look at it, you're like, kind of, sort of. But nah, even I say this guy looks like me. And his name's even Alex. Isn't that weird? Only he's thinner than I am. Anyway, who wants to watch tarantulas get it on? I know I do. Hello, tarantula lovers. I'm Alex, and you're watching Tarantula Haven. The weirdness doesn't just end there. I had another follower on Instagram contact me, and he wanted to know if I wanted to pair my Seriocosmus elegans with his mature male. And he also said that he had a mature male avicularia, and I also have a mature female avicularia. So he lives in Florida, and he'd also posted it on Spender. If you don't know what Spender is, it's a Facebook group where people will post things that they have available that they want to breed, usually mature males, or they're looking for mature males. And I actually contacted him when he posted on Spender. I didn't see the message from Instagram. So yeah, I was interested. So we agreed to meet at a mutual location that was close enough to both of us. And he mentioned that his wife wanted to meet me because she likes my videos, and she wasn't able to make it. So when we got there, he asked if he could take a picture so that he could make his wife jealous. And so we did. And my daughter also took a picture of us so that I could post it on my Instagram and write a little blurb about it. And leave it to Tarantula Cat. She says, are you sure you just met? She said, then why are you standing exactly the same and smiling exactly the same? So yeah, I looked at the picture. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So yeah, another weird instance. Only this guy's name is William. So thank you, William, for meeting with me and loaning me your males. And that is the topic of today's video. Today we are going to be pairing Seriocosmus elegans, and we're also going to be pairing avicularia. And I got two surprises, and they're actually the same species, but I paired them twice with two separate females, and I will save that for the end. Seriocosmus elegans. I was surprised at how tiny this male was. He's probably half the size of a wolf spider, and my female's not very big either. She's about 2 inches, but it was surprising to me how small he was. This is a species that I absolutely love. I just fell in love with them from the first moment I saw them with their cute little heart butts. And this is kind of a dream come true for me to be trying to breed these. Hopefully I'll be successful. He stumbled into her burrow right away, and it seems like right off the bat he detects her, but then he decided he needed to do some exploring. It took a while, but he finally found her, and once he did find her, he did begin tapping and trying to move into the burrow and see if he could lure her out. And she did lunge at him a couple of times and gave him a little bit of a fright. But this little guy was pretty intent on breeding once he discovered where she was. He really didn't give up. He wanted to try again. And it seemed like the more she lunged at him, the more aware of her he was, and the more determined he was to get in there and breed with her. My only regret was that he didn't lure her out. He ended up following her into her burrow, and she had a little chamber that was off to the side where we couldn't really see. So this is probably the most we saw of it. My daughter got a better glimpse of it, and she said that the female did raise up and she almost like turned over on her side before she ducked into that little chamber. And we saw a lot of this type of movement. This actually went on for about 2 more hours, in total 3 hours. And I had to go to bed, and I took a chance and left him in there with her. And in the morning, he was safe and sound, sitting next to her water dish, and she had closed up her burrow. So no, I never actually witnessed any pairing or the actual insertion, but as determined as he was and the way things went once he got in there, I'm pretty sure he got the job done. Avicularia morph type 1. And this one, right off the bat, I had my reservations. For one, she has not molted in a while and her legs are looking a little shiny, which is usually an indication that they're going to molt soon. And I didn't really get a good look at the male until now. And from looking at him, his legs are very shiny. He's missing a lot of hair on it, and his abdomen's actually a little bit bald too. So this appears to be an older male, so I wasn't really sure how things would go, but I figured I'd give it a chance. At this point, he should have already detected her and should have started drumming or vibrating at least. But from what I can see, he is not even aware or trying to drum or do anything like that. So So I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about this one. I know how she is, and she is not the nicest avicularia. She will take down prey like nothing. She gives threat postures. I'm really careful here. I've got the tongs in between them because I just expect her to come lunging out at him, especially if he is not interested in mating. And you can see here that she is clearly aware of his presence and she's coming out to investigate. So this is where things can get a little bit risky. I edge him back a little bit just to give him a little bit of safe space between her, and figured that if I moved him back a little bit, give him a chance to detect her and maybe do some drumming. So I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt and trying to keep him safe at the same time. And you can probably clearly see here his abdomen's got a bare spot where the urticating hairs are. His legs look like plastic straws because they're missing so much hair. So yeah, he's older, and I don't think that anything was going to happen. So I went ahead and moved him on back into his home. And she comes out and is investigating where he was. Dolichothelia diamantinensis. Now, I was very excited when my male matured because I'd had them for a while and they should have matured pretty quickly, but mine took almost 2 years to mature. And when he did mature, I knew my females were ready, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and breed them. They're both freshly molted, so they're definitely ready to go. He's sitting there cleaning his palps, and I know that he's loaded up and ready. Now, I love Seriocosmus elegans, but I don't get to see them anywhere near enough because they're a burrowing species. But Dolichothelia diamantinensis, they're out there. They're excellent webbers. They're usually out in the open and visible. So, you know, I just love them because of their colors, and they're exciting. They're just a feisty tarantula, and they don't get very big, so they're just really cool to look at. So this is an opportunity for me to breed them and make more, and this is just something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Took a little prodding to get him to go in the right direction. He doesn't really notice her presence at first. And you can see right here when he settles in that he has finally noticed her presence. See that little vibration right there? That lets me know that he knows she's there. I get a little bit worried there because she notices his presence and I don't know how she's going to react. So she's out and kind of investigating, wondering who's in her lair. And I thought she was going to go for him at this point, and I really got scared because I was trying to switch around to the other side to prevent anything from happening like that, but it seems like he's got it all under control. I'm a little bit concerned at this point, so I put the bamboo skewer in between because he just kind of backed off there. He never actually inserted, so I'm still waiting to see what happens. I don't know if he's trying to back off because he's afraid or if he's going to try again. I love their little courtship dance where he does all this vibrating and tickling, and it just seems like he's trying to get in for a better position before he finally decides to go for it. And it always makes you feel good when they have a peaceful separation and they just break off and go their separate ways. There's no fighting, there's no need to intervene, and that always works really well. it didn't take him long to make another sperm web, so I figured I'd go ahead and try with my other female as well. And just a quick note here, she is in her smaller enclosure, but immediately after pairing her, I put her into a larger enclosure because I wanted to have her in something bigger like the other one. And it seems like he became aware of her presence pretty quickly, and she also became aware of his presence. So again, I'm trying to intervene here because I don't want anything bad to happen, and she decides she's going to go through her little web tunnel there and meet him on the other side. So he immediately starts drumming once he feels her, and I'm kind of nervous because again, every pairing can go different. You never know how it's going to react. So I'm kind of waiting to see if she's going to try to lunge for him, and he seems to have plenty of room to back off, so I'm not too worried. He seems to be playing a little bit more careful on this one because she's in that web tunnel. I think he's a little bit insecure, and she's not exactly forthcoming either. So he's playing it a little bit differently, doing a lot more dancing around, and she's just kind of waiting and I guess coming out real slow. And it looks like he's finally managed to coax her out of the web tunnel, and that's pretty much all it takes for him to make his move. And that's it. Another successful pairing for my male and another peaceful separation. So there you have it. Pairing is kind of a delicate thing. It's all about timing and using or choosing the perfect time. In some cases, well, in most cases, it's usually the person with the female that will seek out a male in order to pair them at the right time. They usually know when the female has molted last, and it's usually about 2 to 3 weeks after the female molts that you will try to attempt the pairing. So if you wait longer than that, then the female might molt before she produces an egg sac. So again, it's a delicate thing and you have to time it just right. In the case of the Cosmos elegans, I am hoping and praying that everything turns out well. I really wasn't sure when the last time she molted was, and it seemed like she was receptive to him, although we couldn't really see a whole lot. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 90% sure that he did get insertion and he did pair with her successfully. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't witness it, but everything looked to be like it was going as it should. As far as the avicularia, sometimes males get too old, and he looked pretty crusty, he looked pretty old, so nothing happened there. I don't think I want to try again, because if I do, she's most likely going to gobble him up, and I'd hate for him to end that way, especially since he's lived this long. So the best thing for him is probably let him live out the rest of the time that he has, and hopefully he will die peacefully. And as far as both of the Delicathelia diamantinenses, it looks like we had 2 successful pairings, and I pretty much witnessed insertion on both of them. Sometimes people will go ahead and pair them again, although it's not necessary, but just to be sure. But I think that things are looking pretty good on that, and I'm really hoping that they both produce an egg sac, maybe at least one. That would be an awesome thing, because they are probably my favorite dwarf species. So in closing, Alex, it was a pleasure talking to you on Instagram. I hope to continue our conversation and maybe possibly someday get to meet you. You're a really good looking guy, and I need to slim down so I can keep up with you. Good job on your recent weight loss, as you told me. And William, thank you so much for loaning me your males, and I'm sorry it didn't work out with the avicularia. Hopefully everything will work out really good with the Cosmos elegans, since you said they're your favorite, I don't know, your favorite species or your favorite dwarf species, but I know you love them. So hopefully we can get some babies out of that, and I can get you some. And if you purchased a Tarantula Haven mask from me, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I got some feedback on them, and people like them, which is what we always want to hear. we pretty much almost sold out. I think there's like one left in stock in adult size, and I think we have like 2 or 3 children's sizes. So if you're still looking for those, there's still a couple there. And we will have more as soon as we make more fabric or have more fabric made. And I have a pokey design that's coming in, so hopefully we'll have some more masks in that pokey design. So that wraps it up for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to support this channel, I do have a Teespring store where I sell Tarantula Haven merchandise, and I also have an Etsy store where we sell those masks. So I put a link down below in the description for you if you're interested in any of that. Until next time, keep loving them tarantulas.